Welcome students. As you know, in the previous 3 lessons, we have discussed the meaning and types of pollution, their sources and their effects. In this lesson, we will discuss what preventive measures we can take to reduce pollution. So, we start with lesson 19, part 1 of preventive measures. As we have seen in the previous lesson, 70 to 80% of air pollution is caused by vehicles. Vehicular emissions cause global warming due to carbon dioxide emissions, as it is a greenhouse gas, leads to acid rain and causes air pollution. Air pollution by vehicles, meaning of greenhouse gases and greenhouse effect, meaning and formation of acid rain, all these topics have been discussed in great detail in the previous videos. If you have any doubts, you can refer to these videos. Most of the big cities in India are affected by air pollution caused by high levels of total suspended particulate matter, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide. It is exhaust pollution from vehicle emissions that has increasingly become the source of air pollution in most cities. In 2014, the World Health Organization released a list of world's 20 most polluted cities, 13 of which were in India. Therefore, we need to pay special attention to vehicular pollution. Let us discuss the steps that we can take to solve this problem. The first step that we can take is carpooling. Carpooling is the sharing of car journey so that more than one person travels in a car and prevents the need for others to have to drive to a location themselves. So, instead of 4 people driving 4 cars, one car can be shared with the other 3 people. By carpooling, we can take 3 cars off the road. So, basically it means that you are sharing your vehicle with other passengers who are all heading towards the same area. There are many advantages of carpooling. Carpooling allows you to share the cost of petrol and parking and thus cutting your expenses by nearly 50% or more. The more occupants that you have in your carpool, the more you save. You will also help reduce the costs we all pay towards the construction of new roads, road maintenance, and air pollution related health costs. As there will be less traffic on the roads, there will be less requirement for new roads. There will be less wear and tear on roads, so less requirement for maintenance will be there. Reduced air pollution will mean that there will be less medical bills related to health problems created by air pollution. Having less cars on the road means reduced greenhouse gas emissions and improved air quality. Carpooling prolongs the life of your vehicle and reduces its maintenance cost. It reduces traffic as there are fewer cars on the road. It prevents traffic jams, which reduces fuel consumption and commuting time. Commuting means the act of traveling regularly between your work and home, and the people who commute are called commuters. The commuting time can be used for other useful pursuits such as checking and answering emails, preparing for a meeting, etc. Carpooling helps to reduce stress by talking to commuters, sharing a story or a joke, and helps to build friendships. The next step that we can take to reduce air pollution is promotion of public transport. Public transport includes buses, trams, passenger trains, and metro rail. Buses make up over 90% of public transport in India and serve as a cheaper mode of transport for the general public. These buses are mostly run by state governments. Suburban railway services are operational only in Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Pune, Delhi, and between Kanpur and Lucknow. Let us understand what suburb means. A suburb of a city is a smaller area which is a part of the city but is outside its center. For example, Mohali and Panchkula are suburbs of Chandigarh. Suburban trains are those trains that run between a central business district and suburbs that draw a large number of people on a daily basis. So, people travel every day from the suburbs to the main city to work or even to study in educational institutions. These trains usually have 9 or 12 coaches and sometimes even 15 coaches to handle rush hour traffic. At present, the metro rail is operational in Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Jaipur, Chennai, Gurgaon, and Bengaluru. Now let us understand the main advantages of public transport. By moving people more efficiently, public transport produces significantly less air pollution per passenger than a standard car carrying a single driver. Buses emit 20% less carbon monoxide, 10% less hydrocarbons, and 75% less nitrogen oxide per mile than a vehicle with a single occupant. Along with reducing air pollution, public transportation is also more fuel efficient per mile, which contributes to an overall decrease in the amount of fuel necessary for transportation. Public transportation can convey many more people in much less space than individual automobiles, which helps to keep traffic congestion lower, which in turn reduces air pollution from the vehicles stranded in traffic jams and helps riders to avoid the stress that comes from driving in highly congested areas every day. Taking public transportation instead of owning a second vehicle can save individuals a lot of money in reduced petrol, maintenance, parking, and other expenses. Taking public transportation can free commuters up for a significant amount of time, as someone else is doing the driving, which allows passengers to spend their travel time reading, working, studying, or being entertained instead of having to watch the road. Taking the bus, train, or other public transport is safer than driving a car. According to statistics, bus and train related accidents happen at a lesser rate, and there are much lower passenger fatality rates as compared to travel by car. The next step to reduce air pollution is the creation of no smoking zones. Smoking is the inhalation of the smoke of burning tobacco encased in cigarettes, beedis, pipes, and cigars. In this way, nicotine, the active ingredient in tobacco, is inhaled into the lungs, where most of it stays. Cigarettes contain about 600 ingredients. When these ingredients burn, they generate more than 7,000 chemicals. Many of these chemicals are poisonous, and at least 69 of them are linked to cancer. For example, benzene, chromium, cadmium, arsenic, nickel, polonium 210. Smoking causes heart disease, lung disease, stroke, increased risk for tuberculosis, cancer, and problems of the immune system. Smoking does not just harm the smoker, but also the people nearby who breathe in the smoke exhaled by the smokers and are called passive smokers. Most exposure to secondhand smoke happens in the home. Smoke can spread throughout the home even if you open the windows. It can reach very high levels inside a car because it is a small enclosed space. Secondhand smoking is particularly dangerous for children. Children exposed to passive smoke are at higher risk of respiratory infections, asthma, bacterial meningitis, and cot death. Cot death is the sudden death of a baby while it is asleep, although the baby had not previously been ill. It is also referred to as sudden infant death syndrome. Passive smokers have an increased risk of lung cancer, asthma, and bronchitis. Realizing the seriousness of the problem in India, smoking in public places was prohibited nationwide from October 2nd under the Prohibition of Smoking in Public Places Rule 2008. The smoking ban pertains to public places like cinemas, hospitals, public transport, restaurants, markets, shopping malls, educational institutions, parks, etc. A person caught smoking in a public place has to pay a fine. By creating a no smoking zone in public places, an attempt has been made to save not only passive smokers but also to encourage smokers to give up smoking. Here are some advantages of the no smoking zone. Improved health and well-being of community members, as reduced smoking leads to less health problems. Less litter from cigarette stubs and cigarette packets. Creating a positive role model for young people as it reduces the risk of influencing the youth to take up smoking. Young people copy what others around them are doing. When they see less public smoking, they are less likely to take up this bad habit. It reduces fire risk, as a smoker might carelessly throw a burning cigarette stub on flammable material and start a fire. So, less public smoking leads to less fire risks. There are less chances of passive smoking by people nearby. It reduces air pollution. There is heightened awareness of the health risks of smoking and secondhand smoke, so it reduces healthcare costs by reducing the chances of diseases caused by smoking. I conclude my lecture here. In today's video, we discussed 3 steps to reduce air pollution, that is, carpooling, promotion of public transport, and creation of no smoking zones. Thank you.